Good evening from Paris, and what a beautiful sight that is. A view over the capital city with the Eiffel Tower in the background. And welcome to Roland Garros, where the tennis has been flowing, the sun has been shining. There is still a little bit of wind around, but we have a second round lineup to complete and a doubles competition to get underway. And it's lovely once again to have your company on night and day at Roland Garros as we round up all the days goings on, and there has been an awful lot going on today. So here for you is a little bit of what's coming your way on tonight's show. World number 2 and Rome champ Daniil Medvedev crashes out. Defending champion Iga Świątek moves through to round 2. And the players are back under the spotlight, revealing all. And taking centre stage in the night session this evening, you'll start to hear the preparations build up behind me, because the players are going to be out in around 20 minutes' time. Are the Argentine Sebastian Baez, who arrived so early this morning at Roland Garros for his practice and warm-up that we missed him arriving, but we did get this man, former world number 6, Gael Monfils, his 19th appearance at Roland Garros, and he's going to be headlining the night session alongside Sebastian Baez, and we'll have more on that match throughout the course of the show. But that was at 6:15 this evening, so that wasn't too long ago that Monfils arrived. The wind, as I mentioned, is a little bit blustery, and it's caused people problems, as you're going to see a little bit later. But the tennis continues around the ground. So let's just take a look in on Court Simone Mathieu, one of the most beautiful courts if you get the chance to come here to Roland Garros. And a match that stood out when the draw was made for round 1. Victoria Azarenka against Bianca Andreescu. As you can see there, it is Victoria Azarenka who has the upper hand. And we're going to keep a close eye on that and all the rest of the action throughout the course of the show. But there were 40 matches on the order of play, singles matches. Once they are all done, then the second round lineup will be complete. And the only place we can start is in the men's draw, with world number 2, Rome champion Daniil Medvedev crashing out after 4 hours and 15 minutes of play on Philippe Chatrier to the qualifier. The world number 172, Thiago Seyboth Vilch from Brazil, making his main draw appearance at Roland Garros, a second Grand Slam appearance, the biggest win of his career. Fittingly, he finishes it off with an inside-in winner off the forehand side. It's been his trademark all afternoon. And look at his face. It's a first top 10 win. There was frustration from Medvedev, obviously fatigued slightly from Rome. The double faults aplenty, didn't cope with the conditions that well, but all credit to this young man, 172 in the world. 2 previous attempts to qualify Roland Garros had failed. We are going to hear from Daniil Medvedev in press, but let's start with the man of the hour speaking on court.
I mean, I've watched Daniil play for like my entire junior career until today, and I've always dreamed about playing on this court, playing these kind of players. I mean, in my best dreams I've had of beating them, so it's a dream come true.
Tough match. I don't know if I'm not going to look it back on TV, but my feeling was that he played well. You know, I don't think I played that bad, but he played well. The thing is that it's always the same. If he continues to play that way, my opinion, end of the year, he's top 30. But last time I said something like this about someone, he didn't manage to do it. So great for him to play like this today. I honestly hope he's going to play like this later on, because then if not, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be like, why today? And why not in 2 days? So, yeah.
No such problems for Casper Ruud, the 4th seed here, despite some early nerves. First match out on Susan Longland, and runner-up from last year. So the nerves of coming back here. The expectations are high for Ruud, and also he has an awful lot of points to defend. It was a good crowd in the early stages. The wind hadn't picked up that much by this point, but I think Casper Ruud will be delighted to have got the job done in straight sets against Elias Ymar. So 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, the final score for the Norwegian. Last year's final, I mean, you can see what it meant to him there as he puffs out his cheeks. The job was done, the match was won. He'd booked his place in the second round. And a little bit later, he did speak on court, but we waited till his press conference when he spoke about being back at Roland Garros.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. It was nice to be back. Some nerves as well, obviously. Being back the first round is always a little tension. You're here for days training and want to sort of get the tournament going. So it's always a little nerve-wracking, but I came through and straight sets. So just what you want to start with, and yeah, I felt good, better and better towards the end of the match, and finished the match with a break. So I'm very happy, and it's never easy either to play someone who you consider a good friend. So it was nice to get over that challenge.
Another winner today, two-time Roland Garros semi-finalist Sasha Zverev, the 22nd seed at this event. And you'll remember that he suffered a season-ending right ankle injury against Nadal in last season's semi-final. An 8th straight appearance at Roland Garros against Lloyd Harris, who's missed the last 6 months with a wrist injury. So good to see Harris back. But that smile from Zverev, so used to see him battling through 5-setters in the early days of slams. So he will be very happy to have got the job done in straight sets and wiped out the memories from last year when we saw him being helped off Philippe Chatrier. But he's back, he's through to round 2, and he had this to say on court after the win.
Yeah, it's very, very nice to be back, to be honest. It's definitely, since last year, a tournament that I kind of marked in my calendar. I really wanted to play here, I really want to do well here. And yeah, I really appreciate also the warm welcome back. I mean, obviously, after last year, it was very disappointing for me of how the tournament finished for me. So yeah, that's why I think I appreciate even more when I play in front of a full stadium. The crowd is behind me, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun out there.
A young man, just 20 years of age, Holger Rune, who some have tipped to go all the way and win this title in the bottom half of the draw that is now minus Daniil Medvedev. He was ranked 40 last year on his debut and he reached the quarterfinals. He has ranked 6th this year. He's won Munich, runner-up on Monte Carlo and Rome, so he's got the clay under his feet. And he got the victory over Chris Eubanks. Eubanks making his debut, did get a set off Rune, 74 in the world, the American, but this was about Holger Rune moving through and moving to 14-3 on the clay this year. Tommy Paul, the American, he is the 16th seed here at Roland Garros, and he got the job done against lucky loser Dominic Stricker in under 2 hours, 1 hour and 50. 2023 for Tommy Paul. It hasn't been that good on clay, but it's been great at the Grand Slams. 6-1, his record at the Slams this year. So he'll be very, very happy to have eased his way through. And this was one of the first wins of the day on day 3 at Roland Garros. So there for you some of the best bits from the men's draw, starting with that defeat of Daniil Medvedev. Now it's time as the music gets louder behind me because we're edging closer to Gael Monfils and Sebastian Baez coming out on court. But before they do, we have the women's draw to look back on. And a short while ago, we wondered if we might start to run late with the night session because after the 4 hours 15 of Daniil Medvedev, it kept the defending champion Iga Świątek waiting. Now, it's Świątek's birthday tomorrow, so this we can call an early birthday present. She dealt with tricky windy conditions as they have all done today, but she was able to grit her way through the first set before rolling through the second against the Spaniard Cristina Buxa. It's a really good play from the defending champion. She was on that incredible run last year when she came to Roland Garros, and it felt like the rest of the field against her. There's more competition this time round. The number 1 is possibly up for grabs with Arina Sabalenka hot on her heels, so she will be very, very happy. Iga Świątek, the early birthday present, coming through in straight sets against Cristina Buxa.
For sure, first rounds are tricky, and especially first set, you know. I don't remember, you know, playing in such a windy conditions here, maybe, you know, 3 years ago. So I needed to adjust to that a little bit and work on my footwork for sure. But I'm happy that I kind of broke through it and I was able to play better in second set.
Ons Jabeur had a happy return to Roland Garros because you'll remember that she lost in the first round this time last year. Here is the 7th seed, and after a year last year that saw her reach both the Wimbledon and US Open final, she's made a very decisive start. Some great tennis from Ons Jabeur up against Lucia Bronzetti, who won her first career title in Rabat this year. Recent calf trouble for Jean Jabeur, but she said, you know what, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling 100%. And she said on the eve of the tournament that she believes that she is finding her groove again. 6-4, 6-1 for Jabeur, who was very happy when she came into press after the first round win.
Yeah, I mean, playing on Philippe Chatrier is such a beautiful court, but I don't have a good history with it. But I was trying to, you know, like every first round is very difficult in a Grand Slam. I was pretty stressed, I gotta say, but I was just trying to play my game. The most important thing for me was to feel healthy and to move well on the court. But yeah, it was a good game. I will definitely learn from it and prepare for the next games. And, you know, let's see, I need a few matches in, and hopefully I can get that here.
Last year's runner-up in both the singles and the doubles, Coco Gauff, found a way to win today against Rebecca Masarova. Came through in 3. It's actually Coco Gauff's first comeback win since Wimbledon last year. We must keep reminding ourselves that she is still just 19 years of age. She knows she is confident on this service. She knows she likes this service. And I think the highlight for Gauff to take away from today was the way that she found a way through against Masarova, who's making her debut here at Roland Garros. Second seeded in the doubles with Jessica Pegula, 6th seed in the singles. Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina, who this year has scooped up the Indian Wells and Rome titles, now has 29 match wins for 2023. A 5th appearance at Roland Garros. She's against the 16-year-old Brenda Fruhvirtova, who she had some lovely things to say about after the match. She was a breakdown in both the first and the second set, Elena Rybakina. But she's playing so well at the moment, and when her game is on form, very, very difficult. So good win for the 4th seed, Elena Rybakina. Lesia Tsurenko, a happy birthday to you. Her birthday today, and she celebrated it by beating the 2021 champion Barbora Krejcikova in as the 13th seed. Now, Krejcikova led by a break in the second set, then lost the next 3 games. It's a second straight year as a first-round exit for Krejcikova, who was starting to show some form. But it's Lesia Tsurenko. She's 66 in the world. She is a hard worker. And what a way, what a birthday present to give to yourself. A victory over a former Roland Garros champion. So congratulations to her. And finally, for now, we have the 16-year-old qualifier, Mira Andreeva. I'm not sure anyone will want to see her name alongside them in the draw. Her first Grand Slam main draw win. She had a breakthrough at Madrid when she was a wild card, got to the round of 16, her first tournaments on the main tour. A word on Alison Riske-Amritraj, her first match back since her father passed away, so emotional for her. But Mira Andreeva, who's making some headlines, she is getting people talking. But what a way to get your first Grand Slam main draw win. She dropped just 3 games. She got a couple of titles, ITF level in Switzerland on the clay this year, and she is through to round 2. So congratulations to a young lady we are going to see and hear plenty more from in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. So there for you the highlights from both the men's and the women's draw. Now, with so many matches on the order of play, it's actually quite hard to whittle it down to just one shot. But take a look at what we've chosen for you from today. His forehand was absolutely on fire today, defeating the world at number 2. Now, we like to bring you the action as it happens because it is continuing this Tuesday evening. And we can tell you there has been advancements on court. Simone Mathieu, Victoria Azarenka claiming the first set against Bianca Andreescu. So the perfect start for Azarenka. Should just about be the favourite to come through this one, but an intriguing tie against Bianca Andreescu. We'll keep an eye on that through the course of this show, then you can follow it via the Roland Garros social media channels. We're building up to the night session, so let's take a look at Gael Monfils, because after he arrived at 6:15, he looks very relaxed, doesn't he, the 36-year-old? He's warming himself up on the bike. That's the gym. We have cameras absolutely everywhere. So upon arriving, he got himself settled, did a little bit of stretching, looks like he's having a nice conversation. He looks very relaxed. The atmosphere is going to be amazing later when he comes out onto Philippe Chatrier. And we'll get to that night session very, very shortly, but not before more from the players that we spoke to pre-tournament, who revealed all to us after we put some questions to them about certain things. And a word that came up a lot in this recent encounter was towels.
Roger, actually.
I think when I played junior Wimbledon, I just saw for the first time Roger like really close to me. I was like shocked.
At like 10.
3.
Like 8. 7.
10. I have taken plenty of towels.
Double digits?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
In one
Suitcases.
No, never, unfortunately. And I played quite a lot of golf in the last years, so I'm hoping it will happen soon.
Never, no. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one day, maybe one day?
I hope so. I wish to do that.
Carlos, gracias.
Thank you.
They've got to work on that hole-in-one, and I think I've got a fair few tournament towels at home. So if you want to see more from Never Have I Ever, keep across the Roland Garros social media channels of Instagram and Twitter. Right, the time has come to prepare you because the clock is ticking. The players will be out very shortly, and we're getting ready for the main event, the Roland Garros night session. And this evening, we have a first meeting between Gael Monfils, his 19th appearance here, former world number 6, and Sebastian Baez, who's just 22 years of age, the young man from Argentina. And the players, you can see, they're not before 8:22 when they'll be heading out. But I think this was about 7 o'clock this evening that Gael Monfils took to the practice court. Now, he's in on a protected rankings, actual rankings around 394, but he was out from last August to this March. And it's fair to say results haven't gone his way since he's returned to the tour. He's just won 1 and lost 6, but he's going to be on Philippe Chatrier. He's 36 years of age now, one of the most entertaining, acrobatic and enigmatic players in French tennis history. Whenever he takes the court, it's a show, and we're looking forward to seeing him out on Philippe Chatrier a little bit later. So that was a short while ago, a lot earlier, because he got here so early. I think this was about 11 o'clock he was out practicing. Sebastian Baez, 22 years of age, 42 in the rankings, career high of 30 last week. Now, he's won a title on clay this year. That was in Cordoba. He is mentored by Juan Martín del Potro. 5'7", he's not the tallest, but he is a really, really gritty player. He loves to play on the clay, and he's going to be trying to spoil the party this evening against Gael Monfils on Philippe Chatrier, with the players due out in just a few minutes' time. So as we get ready for the evening's action, it continues around the ground. We're getting ready for it here on Philippe Chatrier. Let's mark your card for tomorrow when we get the second round underway in the singles. Philippe Chatrier starts at 11:45. That's a great match to kick things off. Camilla Giorgi against Jessica Pegula, then Caroline Garcia, who's the 5th seed here. And then Carlos Alcaraz will be wrapping up the night session before Novak Djokovic, looking for Grand Slam title number 23, Roland Garros title number 3, wraps things up with the night session. On to Susan Lenglen and Stefanos Tsitsipas, who was in doubles action with his brother earlier today. He starts things off, then Daria Kasatkina, the Australian Open champion Arina Sabalenka. And then, can you imagine the noise for this one? Luca Pouille against Cam Norrie. Norrie came through against Benoit Paire in the last round, and now he's got Luca Pouille, who's come through qualifying in this round. And finally, Court Simone Mathieu. If you're coming through and you have a ticket, then just don't move from your seat. Things start with Alina Svitolina against Storm Hunter. Then you've got Stan Wawrinka against Thanasi Kokkinakis. And then Corentin Moutet against Andre Rublev, the 7th seed. Then Lolia Jean-Jean, the French player, finish things off on the order of play for Court Simone Mathieu. It's a wonderful sight. The roof is open, the sun is still shining. And I don't know the exact time, but I know we're just minutes away now from the place. Look at the corridor. It's been transformed. You're used to seeing it in the daytime. The balls are making their way out to Philippe Chatrier, which means in just minutes from now, the players will be in that corridor. Looks like a nightclub corridor. And they're just waiting to take their place and to be introduced out onto court. The matches always start with the balls being brought up, and on Philippe Chatrier, they have to make their way up the stairs. And there's that view. They are the conditions. The view of the Eiffel Tower, the clear skies just dotted with the odd cloud. And the temperature's still 25. It does feel a little bit cooler. I can attest to this due to the wind that's blowing, and it's been causing the players problems all day. We're going to take a quick look in while we wait for the players to come out here on Philippe Chatrier, really to bring you right to the start of the night session on Richard Gasquet. Richard Gasquet on his favourite court, I think he'd admit, out on Susan Longland. It's an all-French affair. He's taken on Arthur Rinderknecht. I'm going to give you a lace on that very shortly, but it does look like a nightclub, doesn't it? You can just about see Sebastian Baez. There you saw Gael Monfils, and here you're seeing Gasquet and Rinderknecht. 5-3. Gasquet looking to keep this match alive, and a little fist pump from the Frenchman. He has kept it going. There is fight still left in Richard Gasquet. The crowd are loving that. He loves Susan Longland. That's the court he wants to be on. So they are back on serve in the full set, but it's Rinderknecht who leads by 2-1. Marc Murray is getting the crowd ready for the night session. And there for you, the players. And very shortly, they will be called to court. And it will be Gael Monfils. We're going to wish you goodbye at this point. To follow this match, ball-by-ball commentary on Radio Roland Garros. You can find it on the app, or you can follow it via Twitter or RolandGarros.com. Enjoy the action this evening. Have a lovely night, and we'll be back with you same time tomorrow.